What is up, metalheads? What is up? It is Heavy Metal Pokemon here, bringing you our week 3 battle in the IBA. The IBL is the International Battling League. Today we are taking on the defending champ Darude in his San Jose Panquakes. All right. So as you can see in the question down below. What are your thoughts on team builders? That's the question of the day. I don't think I'm going to do them anymore. For the amount of effort that I put into the slides and everything, and then to only get like a handful of views on them, it makes no sense. I'm not getting comparable views. I get double the views on the battles, but I'm only getting half of those views on the team builders. So I'm going to quit those unless a majority of you guys really want them back. They're also kind of dry. I mean, it's just like, here's my team. So anyways, enough of that. So let's just run down my team super quick. I have Leftovers, Persian with Foul Play, Knockoff, Taunt, and Parting Shot. All dark moves this week. Kind of really does what I needed to do. Parting Shots everything, knocks off items, and then taunts the keys, the castle, and Umbreon. So easy mode. We got Broom the Sweeper, Electric Seed as always, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, Acrobatics, High Jump Kick, or Drain Punch rather. That should be able to deal with the majority of his team once I get everything weakened, which I should be able to do with no problem. Next up, we have Expert Belt, Kokohana, Volt Switch, Defog, Grass Knot, and Dazzling Gleam. Pretty much just Volt Switch over most of his team besides the sand, the Palo Sand. I can Grass Knot it for big damage unless he's Rindo. So I gotta watch for that. If I don't see an item, I'm going to assume Rindo. We have Arcanine, very defensive set, takes on his Scolipede and his Mega Medicham pretty well with the Intimidate. Then next we have the Rose. It's pretty much just there as another sand check, just a little bit better of an option because my team is relatively weak to the ground, so having that Rose there for me is really nice. With Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Toxic Spikes, and regular spikes. So hopefully I can get some of those up. Toxic Spikes might help a little, maybe against the Umbreon or a couple of his other mons. But the big is the spikes because we want the mons to continually come in because we're going to force a lot of switches with Arcanine against a few of his mons, especially with that Scolipede being able to pass speed. So. And then last but not least, we have Lycanroc with the Lycium Z. This is supposed to be a nuke for any of the monkeys that want to come. It will obliterate them no matter what. So with Stone Edge, and I can also take on the Zapdos with the Stone Edge. That's pretty cool. Cell Rock, in case he wants to get up some speed with his thingy over there. And then we have the Stealth Rock. I believe Crunch is my last for the Palo Sand. So we need to get the Stealth Rocks up so that way we can constantly beat down that Zapdos when it comes in that Scolipede, because they should be coming in quite a bit to take on this team. So let's get right into the battle without further ado. Let's go battle. Come on. Alright, so I'm going to lead off with the Persian here. Seems to be the best lead versus Darude's team. Like I said, I can taunt these keys here. He can go for a Dazzling Gleam. It won't KO unless he's like super duper mega ultra offensive, but I don't see that happening. So he's going to go for a Spike. And that's perfectly fine to have one layer of Spike. Because that means I can come in a few times, I can get some HP recovery with Leftovers on a few of my mons, and it won't do that much to me. So we're going to go ahead and taunt him, and then we're going to Parting Shot in case he wanted to switch out or anything like that. But he does go for the Dazzling Gleam here. Knocking off the item may have been another good choice. Like I said, the Dazzling Gleam shouldn't have done too much, but that's perfectly fine. So we go out into this. I'm going to go ahead and throw a Leech Seed here, just in case, you know, get some recovery on whatever. And then if he wants to go out into this, you know, after I get the seeds up, I can go out into Arcanine, and it can be in a really good spot. But I missed, so I'm like, I can take a high jump kick here with no problem. I'm pretty bulky. I have an Eviolite. What is this thing going to do to me? He's going to high jump kick, he's going to connect, and he's going to blow me into next week. So down goes my little flower, so I'm already going to play this game down 5 mons again. So this is how my season's going to go. I'm just going to play every game 5 to 6. Alright, so we're going to go out into Arcanine here, the no scope. We're going to intimidate him. He's going to withdraw. He's going to go out into the Imagined Dragons. I'm going to throw off a Willow. This is really good against whatever wanted to come in. Just residual damage is great. Now here I'm Morning Sun. I'm predicting him to maybe try and get like a discharge or something off. You know, kind of want to see what he wants to do. And but he opts for the U-turn, which is a pretty solid play. So he's going to switch out, and he's going to go out into Annoying the Umbreon. So as you know, when you play Darude, he likes to play with a lot of fat mons and a lot of kind of stallish mons. I don't know if he purposely drafts that way, or if he's just trying to draft a defensive heavy team and then just ends up with a little bit of offense and a bunch of fat. But that's just how it goes with his drafts. So he's going to go out into Imagined Dragons here. I'm going to go ahead and get the defog off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to defog. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to U-turn. So got to get that spike away because I don't want these hazards coming in, because I'm going to be forcing a lot of switches, meaning that I'm going to be doing a lot of switches here. So he's going to go out into the Scolipede. I'm going to hard switch right into my Arcanine and kind of keep this thing at bay from doing whatever it wants. You know, setting up Sword Stance or trying to attack. He's going to protect here. He's going to just try and get some speed up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Flamethrower here just in case he wants to stay in. This will do a hell of a lot, if not KO. But he chooses to protect again, which that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and go for another Flamethrower. Here, just in case he wants to stay in, he thinks he can do something. He's going to Baton Pass, and I'm like, alright, Baton Pass and whatever, it's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to go out into the Sandcastle here. We're going to Flamethrower. I don't really have anything now that wants to take an Earth Power from this monster, so I'm going to just stay in here. I'm going to Earth Power, or I'm going to Flamethrower again. That does about, you know, a third. He's going to Earth Power. Does about half. Now, surprisingly, I outsped a +2 Sandcastle, and I have no speed. So that's really good to know. So I got a little bit of HP left. I can definitely KO here. So I'm going to Flamethrower here. Now the play right here should have probably been to Morning Sun. He does get I do get a crit. It's really nice. But I believe here I should have Morning Sun instead of double. That would have been really nice to get that HP back, and then I could have gone out into this the following turn on the Protect. So yeah, he's just gonna wish himself back up. I mean, either way, the same amount of plays would have been, but I would have been at full HP, and then I could have Parting Shot here, which would have been the better play. Instead of the taunt. And then I go for the foul play here. I'm like, this should do a butt ton of damage. But it only does half. So that was kind of disappointing. So he is able to get off the drain punch and get all the way back up to full. So that puts me down really bad. Had I been able to get that that little bit, I might have been able to go into Tapu Koko. I could have volt switched, and then I could have got the broom in, and then I would have been able to get a sword stance going, and I might have been able to start KOing things from there. So that changed the tail of events a bit. I pull a nice double here, knowing that he's going to switch into this. So we're going to go into the Kokohana. We're going to Dazzling Gleam. So that's the safest play right now. He wants to stay in. That's going to do a bunch. He's going to Wish. We can Dazzling Gleam here. He just decides to switch and go into the keys. That's perfectly fine. He's going to get his wish. He's going to get back up full. I'm going to volt switch here. He chooses to go for the light screen, so that's really good for me. That means I get a free switch right into my my broom. I believe is what I do here. And yep. Oh no, I go into no scope. Never mind. It's not time yet. It's not time, guys. So we're going to go into no scope, and we can just flamethrower with this, kind of scare it away. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flamethrower here, which is perfectly fine. So he's behind a light screen, so this isn't going to do that much anymore. We do get a lucky burn, so Arcanine really wanting to burn everything. It is the second week that Arcanine's got to burn on the flamethrower, so that's really nice. You know, it's really helpful here because it's just going to help whittle down this annoying monster. He's going to go for the yawn here, and I'm like, that's fine if this thing goes to sleep because I can still intimidate while I'm asleep. So if I can get in against that Scolipede, I can sit in all day and wait until I wake up because he'll be intimidated. Rock Slide's not going to do anything. Earthquake's not going to do anything to this when he's at -1 because they aren't stab, and his attack stat is not very good actually. So we're going to get rid of this annoying. That's perfectly fine. We're going to get our leftovers recovery, and like I said, we can still intimidate. So that's really good that thing's gone because now I can definitely come in and sweep with the bird. So he's going to go out into this, which is poses a huge problem. So I'm going to go out into DAC attack, and I'm like, he does not miss the high jump kick. If he did, we would have been in a really good spot because then I would have been able to get up my rocks, and then I could have gone from there. But that was not the case. So he's going to go out into, or I'm going to go out into Kokohana. And I'm going to click Dazzling Gleam as per usual. That's the best move right now. He's going to go out into the champ. That's going to take it down. Now I can freely volt switch all over his team. Alright, he's going to go out into the keys here. I believe we see him set up another light screen. Yep. So we know his moves are light screen, spike, and Dazzling Gleam, but I don't know what his fourth move is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we'll volt switch here. And that's going to go take us right into the broom. So I didn't want to find out what his last move was. And I didn't calc how much Dazzling Gleam was going to do. I don't have very much HP. I have enough HP so that way I can outspeed the Scolipede if it gets to +2. But we're going to Drain Punch. Now this is where the rocks would have been hella good. So he comes in here, and we Stone Edge. We hit We get the crit. That's a low roll crit. That's a low roll crit. He gets a discharge off, and that thing's gone. So I don't know what his spread was. But I would assume like fast offense. So that was a low roll crit. Is what I'm guessing, because it feels like max HP from my set. It wasn't looking good. All right, so we go on top Coco here. It's kind of the best play if he goes out into whatever. Now here so I switch into Arcanine here. Now here I should have doubled because I need to have my Arcanine, and then I could have just Volt Switch continually into Arcanine. You know, so I should have doubled here, knowing that he wasn't going to stay in versus the Arcanine. Tried to burn a turn of sleep, but yeah, the doubling would have been nice, because then I would have been able to Volt Switch or Dazzling Gleam, and then I could have definitely won. So he goes for the Drain Punch. He goes back up to full. I don't think he took any damage from the last time he was up at full, but you know, just in case. So this puts me in a really bad spot here. I just have Tapu Koko versus the world, and I don't have Brave Birds, so nor am I Choice Scarfed. So he's going to punch me with some bullets. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. And then he goes out into the Scolipede. He protects here to get the speed boost. Predicting that I have the Brave Bird as my last move. I would assume that's why he protected. Oh my. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, he goes. He does that, and we do go down. So that is unfortunate. The good news is we did only lose 1-0 to the defending champ. We could have played that way better. You know, losing Roselli like turn 2 was terrible. Losing Cyrus when I should have Parting Shot was terrible. So there was a lot of plays that I could have made much better, so that way we could have been in a much better spot going forward, and I think we could have came out with the win and got the sweep with the Halucha that we needed. But we were unable to. When we battled, I wasn't 100% into the battle, because Darude had to push the battle back a couple of times just due to things that he had going on. And so by the time that I had to battle, by the time we battled, I had got some really terrible news. So not being 100% into the game really sucked as well. I still think we did really well, you know, for not being 100 and going against the defending champ. But, you know, had I had a little bit more clarity going in, I think I could have clicked the right buttons, and we could have brought a much better winning experience into the game. But we didn't. So we go to 1-2 +1, right? No, we go to 1-2 +0. We should be neutral, because we lost 1. We lost by 1, won by 2, lost by 1. So yeah. So we go into week 4 against the Colorado Bouffalants, and we're going to show him why we are the better Colorado team. So hopefully next week we have a much better game. And as always, bros, keep gaming.